Hi, I'm Michael Wiegand. I make music, I produce, I mix, and I master under the name Washes. And today I'm going to be walking you through how to best prepare your DAW sessions for working with a mixing engineer. Let's get into it. Step 1. Organize your DAW session. A lot of engineers have DAW templates that they use to organize files for messy sessions that artists send them. But it still takes a lot of time to sort out what each track is and group them properly. And that's time that the engineer isn't using to make your music sound more polished. Here are a couple rules of thumb for organizing sessions. Follow a simple naming convention with your tracks, such as instrument-track-panning, like guitar-tremolo lead-R for right. Next is to group similar instrument tracks together, using groups in Ableton, track stacks in Logic, or routing folders in Pro Tools. After that, color code your clips, tracks, and groups by instrument. Green for electric guitars, yellow for acoustic guitars, blue for bass, red for drums, and so on. Lastly, trim your clips down to only where the audio is playing for each track. Step 2. Commit MIDI and print your aux effects to audio. While engineers are likely to have a robust plugin library, they might not have that obscure synth VST you used for a certain pad sound. You'll want to migrate all your MIDI instruments to audio before delivering the session. You can do this by freeze and flatten in Ableton, bounce in place in Logic, or commit in Pro Tools. Similarly, to prevent conflicts with plugins, you want to print any aux effects sends you have in the session to audio as well. The engineer might choose to use their own delays and reverbs, but to ensure they can keep your effects if they're integral to the vibe of the song, print them to audio. Step 3. Gain staging. There are many schools of thought around gain staging. Some say as long as your tracks aren't clipping, you're fine in the digital realm. But as emulations of famous analog gear in plugin format have become popular, many of them just don't sound very good when you're slamming hot signal into it. To that end, giving your engineer some headroom to play with is vital. For best results, either clip gain or use gain trim inserts to bring your peaks down to the following ranges for each instrument. -6 dB for drums and bass, -12 dB for guitars, -9 dB for vocals, -16 dB for background vocals and keys. One last important step in terms of gain. Make sure you have a gentle limiter with an ample look ahead on the end of your mix bus to catch any peaks. Step 4. Delivering your files. For mixing projects, many DAWs now produce session files that include all of the audio and MIDI information natively without additional files or folders present. But other industry standards like Ableton and Pro Tools still have separate audio file folders that will need to be delivered along with the session container. For mastering projects, all you'll need to deliver are high-quality WAV or AIFF files of the music you want to be mastered. Ideally, gain down your mix by at least 4 dB and deliver 2 files, one with any master bus processing applied and one without. Keep these for your reference and for later comparisons. In some cases, a mastering engineer will also request stems or stereo files of your instrument groups to better treat specific frequencies. Compress the files in zip format and send them to your engineer using a large file transfer service like WeTransfer. For sessions larger than 2 GB, you'll need to subscribe to their Pro plan. You could use a cloud service like Dropbox or shared iCloud folders to transfer the session, but those services are prone to synchronization issues. So that's how to organize your sessions to get the most from your mixing and mastering engineer. I'm not going to ask you to like or subscribe, but if you enjoyed this video, share it with other musicians that you know. Thanks, and until next time.